guys. I was ready to be getting a drink and just realized the time was just about out. So glad you guys are all here. Welcome. Of course, welcome to all my regulars and welcome to anybody that's come on the first time. If you're coming on the first time, give a shout out and let us know you're here. And of course, my regulars, I'd love to hear from you guys. I feel like we're friends. So we've been on, you guys come on just about every single week. And so, hi, Marva. That's one of them from Northeast New York. Let's see here. Oh, thanks for liking and sharing, Marva. I really appreciate that a lot. Hi, Myra. Hi, Jan. Hi, Robin. Glad you could make it again tonight. Are you home or with your mom and dad? It's cold out there. My goodness. Mary Ann Sunderland from Ontario. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Debbie. Debbie Franklin. Glad you're here. Jamie. Hi, Jamie. Tina Swanson from Michigan. Glad you're back. And I'd love to hear where you guys are from. A couple of you have told me. I love to hear that. Hi, Kathy. Glad you could come again. Say, Robin and Kathy, I know from, they're just friends of mine that live around in my neighborhood. Well, not my neighborhood, but not too far away. Used to come to my classes, and Robin's my crop, what's the word I want to say? Partner in crime. There we go. We always go to crops together. Not always, but when I can go to a crop, I only go to about 3 a year. We always sit together. Okay. Oh, hi, Crystal. Glad you could be here and you're home. Hi, Marilyn. That's it. Oh, Ruth, I didn't see you pop up. Hello. Glad you're here. And Marilyn Edens is from Georgia. Glad you're here. Hopefully it's warmer. I've heard it's getting cold down south too. It's starting to warm up a little bit, but it definitely feels like winter. It doesn't feel like fall anymore, but it'll start feeling like fall starting tomorrow here in Indiana. See, Debbie's in Vermont, but she's in Arizona. Oh, you've got some warmer weather you're in right now, aren't you? I bet you're liking that. Okay. Well, I think I said hi to everybody so far throughout the video. I might miss your comments. I do go through them really, really quick to see if there are any questions that I might have missed. And I will answer your questions after the live is over. I try to get back and just say hi and things like that if I did miss your comment. But sometimes that doesn't happen. But I definitely go over them right afterward to make sure I don't miss any questions. That way I can answer the ones I did miss. Because when I get to making stuff, I definitely miss questions, especially when the hashtag door prize starts popping up. And I'll tell you about that here in just a minute. Some of you are probably already seeing that. Okay. Oh, Robin, you missed me. Was the last crop fun? I forgot that did just happen, didn't it? Oh, this has just been a crazy few weeks. Actually, the last month has been crazy. Oh, but they had a good turnout. Okay. Oh, and Cheryl, I saw your comment after the live was over asking me if I was going to the crop, and I was going to ask you what crop, and that went out of my mind right afterwards. Sorry about that. Hope you had fun at yours too. Hi, Marilyn from Nebraska. And Cheryl, I haven't had a meeting. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you have been to one of my team meetings because Cheryl's from Reckless Hill Farm is one on my team. So is Robin. So Robin, you have actually been in one of my Zoom meetings, which I'm planning on doing one again really soon. I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis. I've been trying to do this regular basis for a while. Been a little crazy. 29, Marva says it's 29 degrees in Northeast New York. I'm trying to think what it's probably in the 30s right here, but it's been getting down in the 20s in the mornings. It's been crazy. And Marilyn, howdy from Nebraska. Glad you're back. Oh, you didn't get to make it, Cheryl. Drywalling. I can't see the whole. That's not that much fun, but I'm sure you're going to be happy when it's all done. Okay. Well, we've got quite a few people on here right now. Hi, Christy from Indy. Glad you could make it. One of my regulars. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. With my lives, there's not a lot going on right now. There has been a Cyber Monday thing that we just found out about. If you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you will get to, I can't remember how much percentage it's off, but I will let you know that soon. I didn't look all that up because it doesn't start till December 1st. We've still got a little while. The way the weeks go by so fast, it's not going to, it'll be here before we know it. We will have the past paper pumpkin kits that are they have refills for will be on sale. I can't remember. It seems like it's like 15% off, something like that. I'll have to let you know that real soon. But that's what's going to be coming up. That's all I know so far. But we do have those new products that just came out in the online exclusives. Make sure you check those out because there are a lot of really pretty ones. I haven't been, well, I take that back. There's one suite I got to play with. I made a card for my mom's birthday last October. I'll have to share that with you sometime. Actually, I gave it to her, so I did take a picture. So I think I'll be recreating that for you guys too. Let's see here. Yeah, Cheryl is just west of me. That is correct. Oh, good, Christy. I'm glad you got your door prize. Good. I got those, finally got those mailed out. I had a big stack of stuff to mail out last week. Not quite as big as my club. What was that club that I did last week? Nope. Yeah, last week I did some car class at homes, mailed those out, and door prizes. So it was a good pack too, stuff I sent out. Oh, hi, Celia. Glad you could make it from Northeast Oregon. Okay, now I think if I've missed you, I'm sorry. I'm really glad you guys are all here. Sometimes it's really hard to see all the comments because I go through them kind of fast. Okay, door prizes. If you live in the United States, let me pop this up, and want to be part of a door prize drawing, and I always, my door prizes are the projects that I make in my lives, then type in hashtag door prize. You've seen some people doing it there just now. Make sure you type it in just like you see it there on the screen. If it's not typed in just right when I announce winners at the end of the live, your comment will not be put in the drawing. Is that my site that I use for the lives pulls all the comments in and say hashtag door prize, but it has to be typed in just right for it to recognize it. Now, don't worry, replay people. I'll have door prize for you too. So if you want to be part of the door prize drawing, make sure you do hashtag door prize too. If it's not typed in just right, like you did, hurry up and typed it in and it doesn't look just right. If I can tell it's door prize, I'll put your name in because there's a wheel I'm getting ready to pop up for everybody that watched last week, the live and the replay. And you'll see that just puts all the names there. So if it's not typed in perfectly, it's okay. But here tonight, to get in on the live drawing, you want to make sure you type it in just right. Okay. And it's going to be the card I'm making tonight. It's going to be a fun fold. I think you're going to like it a lot. I had fun making it. Okay, I have fun making all my cards, actually. Okay, I'm going to switch screens here because I want to show a couple past door prizes. We get door prize back up again. This one was from last week, and it was Phyllis from Lala Crafts. I don't think I've seen you pop up, Phyllis. I don't have your address. I thought you'd won before. Could you? I think you watch on YouTube, if I'm remembering right. If you look down the video description below, click on the contact me link page and give me your mailing address because I do not have it. That way I can get this mailed out to you. You were one of the ones that won last week. And these are a couple. This was a Juanita Goulet, I think is her name. You won this card. It was the first time you'd ever watched live, and I haven't received your address to give this to you too. So I'm going to give you another chance. If you're watching on Facebook, just message me there on Facebook. On YouTube, click that contact me link down in the video description. And then this one is, okay, that's it. That's all I have for past ones that I haven't gotten addresses for. Then this is the one I'm getting ready to draw for now. This was the last card I made in my pine trimmings. I just went like pine tree trimmings. That's the name of the bundle. This is my card class at home. You can still get the card kits. I'll tell you about that here after I make the card here tonight for my thank you gifts. But this was one of the ones I made in the class. The good thing when you watch live, you get a chance to win, more chances to win a door prize. But like I said, I still want to make sure my replay people get in. So this was everybody that did not win one of the cards last week and live, and anybody watched the replay that did hashtag door prize. So I'm going to switch screens here. There is the wheel. Get my Post-it notes out and my pencil. And I'm going to spin the wheel and see who's going to win this card. And I always have to wait till it stops completely because there are times I think it's on the name and then it moves on me again. Oh, Crystal. Congratulations, Crystal. I definitely have your address. You're in my card club. So congratulations, Crystal. Okay, so I'm going to put this on. There we go. So Crystal, you won. And I know you're on. I remember saying hi to you. Hope you had fun at your team meeting last week. Okay, so done with that one. And then you will see the door prize for tonight here in a minute when I get done making this card. I don't want to show it to you. If you've seen the thumbnail or get my newsletters, then you've already seen a picture of it. That's fine. But for the rest of you, I want it to be a surprise. So let's go ahead. What do I want to do next? We're done with door prizes. It seems like I should have more to talk about, but we'll just go ahead and start working on the card. Now, I'm going to be using the Delicate Pines bundle. Now, this happens to be something I'm featuring. This is the bundle I'm featuring in my club. I'll tell you more about that here after the card's made. But I wanted to make, I had so much fun making my club cards, I just had to use it again to make another card. So this is what I'm using. I love the stamps. Look at all those dies. It's just a fun set. I love these. I like snowflake sets. This is probably my favorite snowflake set that we've had for a long, long time at least. It's gorgeous. So if you're going to make this later, because right now you're just watching, if you want to make it later, you can come back and watch the live. And I will have a project sheet. I do want to tell you about that. Don't worry about writing all the paper sizes I tell you. This time I have a project sheet, and that blog post is going to post on Wednesday. Not Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow I'll be doing another post on my blog. But I'll put the link down to that video down in the video description on YouTube. So come back on Thursday and you'll see that. It'll be posting at 9 a.m. Thursday, Eastern time, that is. Facebook, I will do another post on my Facebook page with the link to that. And you'll be able to get the project sheet there. So this is, if you're going to make this, the stamps you need. I'm going to go ahead and take the hashtag door prize down so we can see the whole screen. I'll bring it back up again later. Oh, you're welcome, Crystal. I just saw you're welcome. Or thank you, I mean. It's been a great day. I think all of a sudden I'm starting to get tired. So hopefully I can get through this. Okay. Going to need this large stamp right here. Also going to need this one and these two and the small snowflake. And then I'm going to use Celebrate the Season and Warmest winter wishes. So using quite a few stamps on this one. Then with the dies, I'll be using, if I can get hold of it, this big one right here. I will also be using this one. Let's see, these two right here. And this one. Do you believe those are all? Yes, those are all the dies I'm using in this bundle. All right. Oh, and just so you know, if you want the bundle, you save 10% if you purchase the bundle price, and it's $56.50. If you only want to buy the stamp set, it's $24. If you want to get just the dice set, it's $39. But the best deal is getting that bundle at $56.50. Okay. Oops, wait a minute here. I'm covering some stuff up I don't want to cover up. There we go. All right. I'm going to bring in my card base. This is Shaded Spruce, 5.5 by 8.5. Grab my bone folder. I want to get those corners lined up. For those of you that haven't watched me before, that's how I always fold mine in half. I make sure I get those corners folded, and it does perfect every time. I don't even bother to look at these long edges. I just look at my corners. Okay, so I'll put that to the side. Now, let's see, what else do I want to do? Let's do some stamping. I want to do the fun fold in a little bit to keep you in suspense here. I'm going to grab this. Whenever I use my photopolymer stamps, I use a Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm just have this piece of paper on there just in case I stamp off. I'm actually not going to on this one. But I'm going to grab the big one here. Oh, wait a minute. First, I need to use my embossing additions toolkit. Everything that comes, this is everything that comes with it. You get the embossing, this is the embossing buddy. This is a powder pal. These wonderful tweezers, they work great. They're the ones that when you push them, they open, and then you let go and they close. That's how those work. And then a little brush to take any of the powder off where you don't want it. So what I'm going to start off with, I always start off, you know what? I'm going to do this because I always forget this. I found this works a lot better. I'm going to take the embossing buddy, and this is going to remove any static or moisture that might be in here. So then when I go to dump out the powder I didn't use, it's not going to stick as bad. It still might stick some, but it helps a lot. Then I'm going to take it and go over this Secret C piece. This is a 3 3/4 inch by 3.5 inch piece. I mean, I'm going to pounce it a little bit and then kind of go over. This takes any static out of the paper and any moisture. So I want all that cardstock dry. All I want that's wet is my stamped image. So I'm going to use Versamark ink. And I'm going to stamp all over this. Get the ink on there, that is. And then I'm going to stamp it near the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be die cutting this. If you make it along with me. I'm holding it down a few seconds to make sure that ink soaks in. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. It makes a beautiful watermark. But the reason you use Versamark ink is because it stays wet for like 10 to 15 minutes. And you need that to do some heat embossing. I tend to heat emboss more around Christmas time. I just remembered that I did some embossing last week with that chalkboard technique. If you missed that, if you're watching on YouTube, you can find it under my past lives. No, actually, that was 2 weeks ago. My past lives playlist. And on YouTube, you can scroll down a little bit, except after 30 days, it'll be gone. So if you don't see it, make sure you go to my YouTube channel and go into the past live section. You can see it. But there we go. I've got that. Now I'm going to grab my Powder Pal. And I'm going to use the Basics Wow embossing powders. It comes in black, clear, and white. I do believe the middle one's the white one. Yep. I had to look at the label because the clear and the white almost the same. They're a little bit different, but not by much. So make sure you get the right one. Because if you do it in clear, it's just going to have it be a Secret C color because you're just going to see the cardstock, but I want it white. Oh, hi, Glenda. From the Great Smoky Mountains. Oh, I love the Smoky Mountains. I haven't been. We've been to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg a few times. It's been a few years since we've been there, though. I'd love to go back. It's beautiful there. Okay, get all that covered up with the white embossing powder. And then you just kind of flick it off. And I even do this too. I'll kind of flick it with my finger. That gets even more off. That might have been a little too much, so I'm just going to go back over it again. There we go. Sometimes I flick too hard. But because the ink stays wet, it's going to get on there a lot better. And I'm not going to worry too much. I do have some out here on the outskirts, but it's going to, of the powder that I don't want, but it is going to be die cut, so it doesn't matter. The center part looks just fine. Okay. So now I'm going to get it ready for some embossing. And what I can do with this, that's going to be okay unless I hit it or something. So I can show you how I use this. You just open this up here. Oh, hi, Lola. I'm glad you could make it. She's from Arizona. Got a few Arizonian. Well, one from Arizona, one's in Arizona. Okay, where did I put my little brush? There we go. So I can just kind of move this down. Actually, I probably should have left the lid on and gotten all of this down first, but it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you stay over the bottle as you're brushing it down. So I'm being very careful here. I don't know if you notice, you may not be able to see most of the embossing powder, if not all of it, is coming off really good. I do see a little bit, so what I will do, I can either rinse it out in the sink. A lot of times I will take a Swiffer sheet and get most of it off. I'm even sticking the brush through the little funnel, to get it out of the opening here too. But I sometimes will even, after I use the Swiffer sheet, just for good measure, I'll even rinse it out. I usually use the Swiffer sheet first to get most of it out because I really don't want a lot of this going down my drain. But when I'm pretty sure I've got all of it, I still rinse it out just to be on the safe side because like if I use black, I especially want to get everything out of there if I'm going to use white again later because you don't want any black flecks in your white embossing powder. But use very little. This will last me for a long time. Okay, so now I am ready to do some embossing. I'm going to use my tweezers. Oh, hi, Holly and Romaine. Glad you guys are here. Romaine's from Pennsylvania. Glad you guys are here. Just started. We're doing some heat embossing. You haven't missed the fun part. Oh, hi, Marlene from Iowa. Glad you could make it too. Now, this is called a heat tool. Our heat tool has two different levels. The number one is for drying ink. It doesn't get quite as hot. Number two is what we want for heat embossing because it needs to get really hot. I'm going to let it run for a little bit because it needs to get hot. Don't get your hand too close because this is super hot. I want to say, I used to know this, like 600, 650 degrees. It gets super hot. It needs to get that hot to melt this embossing powder. So no, a hair dryer will not work. It doesn't get hot enough. I am checking to see if it's getting a little warm, and it is. I'm keeping my hand way away from it. So now I'm going to go on here. I'm going to kind of angle it. Let me see if I can lift it up a little bit so you can see it a little better. And I'm going to leave it in one spot. And now can you see how it's starting to get a little light, bright white? Once it gets bright white and melts, then I go to the next section. I think you can see that pretty good. I'm glad I lifted it up. It's showing up a little better. So I'm going to do it until all of it is a nice bright white here. I'm going to stop a minute. The bottom is not melted. The top is. That might show it a little better if I angle it that way. I think it is. There you go. So now I'm going to do the bottom ones. Get these melted. And as soon as they are melted, make sure you go to the next section. If you heat it too long, it could start soaking into the cardstock and it won't be embossed anymore. I have done that before. I've learned that the hard way. But there we go. So now it's a nice shiny white. Really brightens it up a lot. Okay, I think some more stamping. I'm going to grab this piece. So all done embossing. Get that out of the way. Heat embossing, that is. I'm going to do a little dry embossing here in a minute. This is a piece of basic white. That is, I have to look at my little sheet here, 4 by 1/2 inch. And I'm going to use the Celebrate the Season. And I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler ink. And I tend, especially with sentiments, well, the large, you saw me do it, the large snowflake, and I'm getting to where I do it on almost all of them. I will turn my stamp over and then ink it up like this. That way I know I'm not pushing it into the ink pad too hard. I can feel how hard the ink pad is hitting it, doing it that way. For those of you that are new to stamping, I've had so many people tell me when I stamp, I get too much ink on it. Well, that's what I do to make sure I don't get too much ink and it doesn't glob up on me. As I'm stamping it close to the center, it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim off the ends a little bit. So I'm going to do this one at an angle. And then if you want, so that's the end I just took off. If you want these to be angled exactly the same, it really doesn't matter if it doesn't. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this over. I'm kind of turning it over. Okay, that one is making it go the wrong direction, so I'm going to turn it over again. There we go. I don't know if you can see. There's the angle of that card stock I just cut off. I can put that. I'm going to get it as close, because I didn't get it right in the center, so I'm mainly lining up the top and the bottom, making sure it's straight, and making sure that little cut is closer, because I want it to be about the same as that. And then I'm just going to cut right along the edge of that little piece that I cut, and that gives me the same angle. So there we go. So there's Celebrate the Season. Put that to the side. And let's say I'll go, yes, I want to do some other stamping here. See if we can get all the stamping done. Might have to do a little bit afterward. I can't remember. Now, this is a big piece. Let me see if I can get a hold of it. This is a half sheet. This is 8.5 by 5.5. It's just like a card base, but this is actually, I probably won't use all of it, but what you can see that I've already stamped 2 snowflakes. The reason I did that is because it uses the same die. I didn't want you to sit there and watch me have to crank it through all these times to use that die. So I will show those here in just a minute. Actually, I can show them now. So these 2 here, well, actually, let me just stamp it and then I will show you. So I'm going to do one more of these. That's what this was. I'm going to stamp it in Old Olive. Marlene, I can't remember if I said hi to you. Hello. I think I did, but I didn't want to miss that. You're one of my regulars. Okay. I'm going to put that right here. So this is an Old Olive. There we go. And then I'm going to do another one with, oh yes, had to think there for a second. Well, let me just do this. This is going to be with Shaded Spruce, and then I'll explain what these were that I already die cut. So I thought that's just going to be too much die cutting at once. There we go. So I have still got a lot of room here. Oh, I do have one more to stamp. It's not going to take much room though. That small snowflake. I need that. And this is with Pretty Peacock. So the colors I'm using are all in the Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. And DSP is designer series paper. That way, for those of you that don't know that. And I do have good news. When I was first making this card, the Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP was not available, but it was going to be next week. Well, I did that wonderful thing they have in the online store. If you go to a product and it says it's out of stock, you can put your email address in and have them notify you as soon as it's back in stock. I did that with this DSP, and I got an email yesterday, and it was already in. It's back in stock, and you can get it. So I'm really happy about that because I might need some more for my club. So I've got this here. That's all the stamping I'm going to do on this one. Put that to the side, and I do believe, yep, that is it. I'm going to get the die cutting machine out. Oh, wait a minute. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, let's take this away because I don't need that anymore. You'll be able to see a little better. So these two were those. I already die cut these out. And then another one that looks just like this. So if you make this card, you're going to need 3 of this one, 2 of this one in shaded spruce. So these are old olive, shaded spruce. The one that looks like pine cones, it's the same size as this one, but the pine branches, I mean, that's in shaded spruce also. And then 1 small snowflake. This is a label that is needed. Let's see if I can get hold of it. This one right here. So that's the one I die cut. And that one I used the Peace on Earth dies. These are not available right now, but they're supposed to be back in stock next week. I've got it waiting on an email to let me know when these get back in stock too. And that is the largest label right here is what I used. Love these dies. Aren't they gorgeous? Very pretty. Okay. So that is what all this piece is here. Let me take all the little pieces that I already die cut so you wouldn't have to sit there and watch me do a bunch of die cutting. The reason I did not die cut this one is I want to show you what's really nice about the stamps in the set and the dies. So I think that is it. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead since I already have this. If I can get a hold of it, the label die cut. There's one last thing. I can't get a hold of it because I have other dies on top, die cuts on top of it. There we go. So this piece here, I'm going to bring this back in again. I'm going to use cherry cobbler ink. And I'm going to use the Warmest Winter Wishes. Oh, Phyllis, I just saw you come on. I did not have your address. You won the card. Oh, let me see if I can get hold of it. This one right here last week. I do not have your address. So you're watching on YouTube. If you look down the video description and click on the contact me link and give me your address, I'll get this mailed out to you. I thought I'd had your address, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Holly says she loves the dies. I do too. They're fun. Okay, so cherry cobbler. And I'm going to stamp this near the top of this label because this is going to go on the inside of the card. Just have a little place to either just write a name or put another little sentiment, little note on here. So that's how you want to stamp it. Now that is all the stamping for tonight. Oh, hi, Polly. You're good. I haven't done the fun fold card part. I've done some heat embossing on this, which you already know how to do that, and some stamping. Now I'm going to get some die cutting done here. So I'm going to bring this in. And for die cutting with our Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, it's the base platform number 1, die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. Oh, you're welcome, Phyllis. So there is the snowflake. And I'm going to put this right on top. The way our dies work, if you haven't used them before, this big opening right here needs to go right around the image. So that image is going to fill in that space. So the actual metal part is almost like a frame around the whole thing. And I'm going to use, well, that isn't very good. I'm going to use Post-it tape. You can also use Post-it notes. They work just as good. This adhesive keeps the die down, the tape does. But then when I lift it up again, it does not tear the cardstock, which is what I want. And, oh, there is one more thing I can die cut. I already did some die cutting here because I needed 3 of these. This is a piece of gold foil that's 4 3/4 inches by 4 inches. I wanted to show you how this works. So I left 1 off. So you need a total of 3. That one I'm not going to worry about putting tape on. Actually, I'd rather have it go with this way. So let's see if I can get this to work. You always want to make sure that you get it on in the sandwich. You don't want it hanging over because then it's not going to die cut right. But that I've got it on there really good. I can tell it's going to do just fine. I really want to make sure, you know what? I'm going to do this separate. I have learned this the hard way with this one here, with all the detail. You really want to make sure it's closer to the middle. That's where the pressure is the most. Sometimes on the ends, it doesn't die cut quite as well. So I'm not going to overdo it. I'm just going to stick this back on, and it moved on me. I think I need to get a new piece of tape. These are ones I used last week, and I think they're losing their stickiness. There we go. So I'll run this through. There we go. And, oh, wait a minute. I could have done these together. I totally forgot. I want to die cut the inside. So there's one more die you need. Let me hurry up and get that. Where did I put the dies? There we go. Oh, yeah, and I need this little one too. So grab that little bitty snowflake if you come back to make the card later. The other die is, there are two that look real similar right here where both my thumbs are. I want the larger one of the two. Okay, now I'm ready for this. This is going to go right here in the middle. Now this hole right here, the big circle cut out, needs to go right around the berries. So make sure you see all three berries. And then these little thin branches in the snowflake, make sure you see all of them in these little, the places in between that are open on the die. So my berries are in the center, and I'm looking at all, I think there's 6 of them, 5 or 6, it's 6 of those little stems, making sure they are all in those openings in between. I kind of call these petals, even though they're not. That's the only word I could think of. So I'm going to put some tape on both sides of this. So I could have done this the same time as this one. I could have taped this on and then put this around it and gone through just the one time. But I forgot I did that. But that's okay. Oh, there it is. I couldn't find my other cutting plate. You always have to put another standard cutting plate on top. Is it Jamadi? I'm not sure. I've had you on before. I'm glad you could be here. Welcome. Okay, you're saying hi to Lisa. You must know somebody on here. Okay. It's just in case my name's Christy, in case you're thinking you had another demonstrators. Okay, so I'm gonna get this on here. Get all those off. And isn't that cool? It does that perfectly. You don't have to fussy cut those out. I just think that looks so cool. Okay, now that is done. Now I'm going to put this one through. Like I said, I already did the first two I needed. Get another standard cutting plate on top. Oh, Jan is saying it's pretty on the Secret C cardstock. I agree. That white just really pops on that dark cardstock. Oh, you know what? I'm going to make that go through twice. I forgot. That die did not move. So I'm going to push it through here again and bring it through. And before I pick it up, I want the die to stay on there. That is die cut really good. When I did this for my club video I did, I'll put a link to that video down below. I always do a public, well, not always, but almost every month I do a public video for the first card in my monthly online card club. And I did it too close to the edge, so I had to make it go through quite a few times. Just doing it there in the middle. It could be, though, that this is being foiled too. It's a little thinner than cardstock. I can tell that did a really good job. But I found out something else that I didn't know with the last one. I'm going to grab this piece. Let me see if I can find it here. I think that's all the die cutting. You know what? I'm going to put this to the side because it's going to be easier to do when the die cutting machine's out of the way. I forgot I've got a little embossing to do. I normally don't do embossing because with my card kits, I do all the embossing. But since these aren't card kits, I get to show you how to do it in case you don't know how to emboss. I've got a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, thanks, Holly. She thinks it's very pretty. I'm glad you like it so far. Where did my embossing folder go? Oh, there it is. I'm using Peaceful Greenery. This is actually in the same suite as the Peace on Earth dies I showed you just a minute ago when I used the label. This is Peaceful Greenery. And I'm going to put this inside here. Now, normally I line it up with this line they always put in the embossing folder, but I'm going to go up a little bit higher because if I do that, this whole image, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. This whole image is not centered because some of the leaves are hanging off and these are not close enough to the edge, so I'm going to raise it up a little bit. I'm just looking all the way around here, making sure all the leaves are within because they're real close to the edge. That's how I center it. I can still kind of look at that line to see if it looks straight, the gap in between the cardstock and the line, and that looks really good. So I only have the base platform. Put this on top, and then you grab this specialty plate. All of these plates you're seeing come with our Stampin' Up! Emboss machine, so you get everything you need to use all our dies and embossing folders. So this goes on top, and then you run it through. I love embossing, and it is so much easier since they came out with these embossing folders years ago. We used to have to use some brass plates. Those took forever, but there we go. So that's what that one does. And the neat thing with when you get this with that, if you get this with the Peace on Earth dies, the two labels in there fit perfectly inside that. Isn't that cool? But I'm not using that feature this time, but I did want to have this border across here because I thought that looked really good with those pine cone, or not pine cone, but the pine snowflakes. So I'm going to put this to the side. All done with that. Now I think I'm going to still keep you in suspense. We're going to decorate the outside. Then I will do the fun fold. Okay, here we go. I'm going to grab this piece first. Oh, no, I do need to do some things. Never mind. We are going to start with the fun fold now. I just remembered. Oh, wait a minute. Getting ahead of myself. I forgot I put this to the side. Oh, thanks, Phyllis. She says I explained so well. Good. That's what I like to do. I want to explain everything to you guys so you can just turn around and do it yourself. Okay, where? Oh, yes. This is my trick for getting all of these little pieces out. Sometimes it doesn't work with some dies. Sometimes I just play around with it. Sometimes it's easier just to use this, use my finger to scratch them out. With this one, with all these little, they're not a ton of little pieces, but these here, I grab the foam mat. If you get the Take Your Pick tool, it comes with some ends. The die brush you have to buy separately. It screws, like this is what the original Take Your Pick tool is. You take off the putty end, and then you screw the die brush in. The die brush also comes with this foam mat right here. As long as this is in the die, I'm going to push down here and just put that die brush over those little holes there. And look at all those little pieces that just came out. And do it over here. And I am pushing down into that foam because that helps push out the little pieces. And I can tell there's still a few in there. Keep this in there. Actually, I think they all just fell out after I said that. They did. But if they didn't, I still would want to keep the paper in here, and then you poke them out as it's in there. When I did it in my last video, I was holding onto the paper and I was afraid I was going to rip it. It's a lot easier if it stays in the die. If it falls out of the die, try to just put it right back in there to support it, and then you can take it back out again. Now there's some little holes here on the end. Those don't take out pieces. That just helps you pop this out if it is still in your die. And then I can pull this out, and there we go. That worked out perfect. So I did that with 3 of them. And I like this with the foam, and all those little pieces stay on a little easier too, so I can throw this away. Okay, now I can start doing the card, showing you the fun fold. I'm going to grab this. Oh, yes. Kathy Newton said let me pop that up because that's a good point. She says, if you keep your paper pumpkin box, you will keep the mass in the box. That is very true. You can put this inside of your paper pumpkin box, get them all off, and then you can just dump it if it gets too many little pieces in there. Very good idea. Because that fits really good in the paper pumpkin kit. I think I'd seen somebody else say they do that, and I totally forgot about that. I'm going to have to get one of my old paper pumpkin kits boxes out. Okay, so I've got this out. I've got the arm out because I've got a piece of the Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. This is 12" by 5 1/4. This is probably this, and there's another one that has the Secret Sea background are my favorites. But there's some, I love this side though too. So I was like, which side do I want to use? I opted for my favorite one. I'm going to cut this down to 10 inches long. So it's 12 by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to go to 10 inches because this is the side I need for the fun fold. It's going to go on the inside. So that with this card, the fun fold is actually on the inside of the card. Now this strip here, I am even using this. This is going to be used on the front of the card. So hold on to that as you make this card later. So this is now a 10 by 5¼ inch piece. I need to do some scoring, so I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way. I want to use the lighter one. First off, I'm going to score at, let's see, not 1 inch. I think it's 2 inches. Yep, you start at 2 inches. And then you go every inch until you get to 8 inches. So here's 2 inches. And I'm going to go over it a couple times, well, more than a couple, a few times, to make sure I get a good score line on there. Now I'm going to go to 3 inches. So it's at 2. Now I do 3. Go do it a few times. 3. I say I did 3. Now 4. I've got, don't worry, that's not blood, it's ink. I just looked down and thought, oh, that doesn't look good, does it? I must have gotten some cherry cobbler ink on my finger. Okay, now I'm going to, isn't it pretty paper, Myra? I love it. I agree, Romaine. It's gorgeous. This paper's probably my favorite right now. I love it. So I did 4 inches. Now I'm going to do 5 inches. There we go. And you can also use our Simply Scored scoring tool. I meant to bring that over because, to be honest, doing this many score lines on one, it's actually a little easier to use the Simply Scored scoring tool. Then I don't have to keep moving it. I would just go down each, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts. So I'm having to line it up a little more on this one. That's okay. That's 5 inches. Now 6 inches. Oopsie. There we go. 2 more. Now do 7 inches. And 8 inches. Oops, there. Okay, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I can't see all those, but you'll see them here better in just a minute. I'm all done with the trimmer. And now starting on this side, I'm going to fold it this way right on the first score line. And I want to grab my bone folder. When I do this, I want to make sure my edges, this is still lined up. Because every once in a while, if it moves when you're scoring and the score line might not be straight, it'll still be a good guideline. Just make sure that they're straight here. Now I'm going to go to the next one. So it's accordion. So that one went down to make a valley. This one is going to go back. Kind of looking at the two ends, making sure it still lines up. Here's the next one. It's going to go up. Once again, make sure it's lining up pretty good. Then there's the next one. You just keep going down until you've got all of those score lines folded. And you do want to use a bone folder or something like that to make sure that you've got it folded really good. You want a nice crisp fold right there. And we've got this one. It's like making those fans we used to make when we were kids. And then this, last but not least, it's this one. Okay. So that is what it's going to look like. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the card base. You could use whatever adhesive you want to, but I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. Whenever I use that, I always grab my silicone craft sheet out. And now I'm going to turn, this is my left side, so I'm going to turn this over. This is about a 2-inch strip. Both ends are 2 inches. So the first one, and with this design, it doesn't matter which way because all the images, the designs are going every which way. But so I'm going to do my left one first. Put some glue on here. And the reason I'm using glue instead of adhesive, when I go to put on the card base, I can move it around a little bit while the glue is still wet. So I'm just going around the edges, not all the way to the edge, because you know how glue works. It gets, it'll kind of squish out a little bit, and I don't want it squishing out too far. And then I'm barely squeezing my glue bottle, and I've got the tip right up against the paper and putting glue all over this. If I keep it down without pushing too hard and keeping it down onto the paper, you won't get too gloppy either. Now this is the inside. I'm going to do it this way. So this piece here, I'm going to get it right. You can probably tell the card base, the border around it, I want it to be about the same width all around. So that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead, now that's straight, and pushing it down, putting pressure on it. That way that stays really good. Once you put pressure on it, the glue soaks in. It's not going to move anymore. I'm going to go ahead and fold all of these accordions back down. So this is what it's going to look like. It looks like you're just doing a little 2-inch strip. Now I'm going to put glue, just like I did on the other one. On this, I'm going to go around the edges. And even when I'm going around the edges, I'm still having my tip on the paper because that helps me not get too much glue. And if you ever get too much glue, say this, it kind of looks a little too thick right here, I can take my silicone mat and dab it, and I'll take some of it off, and I can peel that off after it dries. So this is all ready. I want to make sure it's still lined up. I'm going to bring this down. And then you just put pressure here. This will make it so it glues right where you need it to. Okay. And there we go. There is the inside of the card. So that's the actual accordion stretch card. I kept looking for the name of this all over. Everybody was just calling it an accordion card. I'm like, oh, we've got so many accordion cards. And somebody actually put, now I can't remember who it was, actually put down accordion stretch card. I'm like, oh, that's a good name for it because it definitely stretches. So there we go. So that is the inside. That's the actual fold right there. Now I'm going to start putting some snowflakes together. So I want to grab my, actually, let's do the outside first. I've got this piece. I'm going to grab that 2 by 5 1/4 inch piece that was left over that we cut off this one. Put some adhesive on it. Use my Stampin' Seal. Okay. And this is just going to go along the left side here. Oh, hi, Becky. Glad you could make it. Thanks for liking and sharing. I appreciate that so much. And don't forget, guys, if you have other stamping friends, invite them. If you are enjoying this live, I come live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. The more, the merrier. I love seeing everybody come. Okay, so that is on there. It looks, and I was right. I cut that a little longer than I did this one. So I'm going to grab my scissors, put the scissors right up against the cardstock, and then that helps me guide the scissors, and I just cut off that piece that's hanging over. Okay, now I'm using everything, I didn't say this earlier, that's in the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Suite. So it's got the DSP, the bundle I showed you that I'm using, and this beautiful ribbon. This is shaded Spruce Gold Edged Ribbon. It's a 7-inch piece. I'm going to use my tear and tape. And whenever I attach ribbon with my tear and tape, make sure the length of this is longer than width. You want to have it quite a bit over. That way it holds the ribbon down. So that's about right. And then I'll do another one. I always put it here on my left hand like this because it's a lot easier to grab a hold of. There we go. Put this on. I'm going to wrap it around the edge kind of in the center because this actually is right at the center. This is 2 inches. This is 4 inches. So it's right at the center. Just kind of put this on here. And Cheryl, I can't see your whole comment. I'm going to wait till somebody else comments. I'll be able to see it again. I wish I could do the old screen. I used to be able to see all your the chat on, but I can't. Oops. How did I do that? I never do that. There we go. I was afraid I messed up my adhesive. I'm going to put this right across. Actually, I probably made these a little longer than I needed to, but that is okay with me. Just make sure you don't get the adhesive hanging over the edge. Okay, here we go. Cheryl says, I know this sounds silly, but I have tons of paper and I love cards that show it off and use it up. Yes, that does not sound crazy. So if you have a ton of cardstock, designer series paper, get it out and this uses it and shows it off. I totally agree. I love it. Sometimes we hoard our paper and then we end up having, I don't know about you, have tons of stacks of it. We need to use it. I used to be scared to use I remember when I first started becoming a demonstrator, I was like, oh, I don't want to use up that pretty paper. And back then the paper, I've been doing this, what did I say, 22 years. We didn't used to have very pretty paper. It's gorgeous now. So if I didn't want to use it back then, it would be really easy not to use it now. Okay, so. Oh, and Holly says she's the same way. She likes to use her paper and show it off too. Okay, now I do need some more adhesive on here. So I'm going to go ahead, put some adhesive on these edges. I'm going to grab I might as well use this one. I'm going to make sure that tear and tape is pushed down really good. I'm going to go in between the ribbon and the end of the adhesive and kind of jiggle this a little bit. This is the easiest way to get the paper backing off. Now it looks like it's not, oh, there we go. I'm just getting ready to tell you what you can do if you can't get it to come up. There we go, and it came up. I'm going to go down here and do the same thing. But if you ever start jiggling it and start bringing up the adhesive, then go to the other side and try, and then it'll work just fine. Actually, push that down and then try the other side. Okay, now this is going to go on my card front. So the card front's just decorating like a regular card. So I will put that right here in the middle. Now I need to put together that beautiful snowflake I have on the front. You're going to need this one and all three of these gold pine brand things, okay? Now, where did I put my craft sheet? I just had, oh, there it is. And I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to put glue. Let me where to put my multi-purpose glue. There it is. I actually put it away. Oh, Becky says she still does that. Oh, you still have old paper? Make sure you use it. It's fun to use it. Okay, so I'm going to put glue along that center part. And here on these, I guess you can call the sticks. I'm only going to do it here on the, actually, let me think here. How do I want to do, I could actually go all the way up. But you don't have to. I think just doing it this, I'm trying to think how I did this. I think I did go all the way up. Oh, no. I know what I did. It doesn't matter if I've got glue here. It's going to work. So if you do this later, don't put glue there. Put it in the center. So I'm going to start over at that. You put it in the center. And then these little sections here, these little center sections, that's where you put the glue. I forgot where I put the gold. So it's going to go all the way across here. So I'm going to turn this over. I want to make sure that circle goes there in the middle. And then the branches here go along those two center things I just put the glue on. Put this on. I'm going to turn it over and make sure that looks good. And it does. So I'm going to push these two pieces down. And even do that center again. I forgot. I'm not going to be putting anything here because we want to be able to see that gold in those openings right there. But that will dry, no big deal. I'm going to be putting on dimensionals. I think I need to move that over just a little bit. Okay, now I will put glue on this center piece here. You can use glue dots. I'm not using them because I was afraid sometimes glue dots are a little thicker and that would make this get a little too high. I didn't want it to be too thick. That's the word I'm looking for. Now I'm going to do this little section here, little center section, and this little center section. So they're in between the big part of the snowflakes. And this one will go on. Stack those centers. I'm just tapping those, and then I can turn it over and see if that looks good from the other side. And it does. Now push it down all the way. You could even do it this way. Just lay this down and do it this way. But I think it's a little easier to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm going to turn it over again. Put a little glue here. Here. Actually, I'm still going to do it this way because I'm afraid I'm not going to get it because I want the center one to definitely be on that, stacked up on the other centers. Tap those two down. Bring it over. That looks good. So I'm going to push everything down, make sure it's all good and attached. Close this up. For now, I think I'll be using it again. And there is that pretty snowflake. Isn't that neat? I love that. There's so many different snowflakes you can make with this set. Okay, now this one I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to use black just because of the Secret Sea being so dark. And I'm going to put the big sections of the snowflake. I'm going to put one right in the middle. And I'm going to skip one and go to this one. Skip another one and go to this one. Okay. If you want to put one right there, and I can grab if I want to support this, actually it's probably a good idea. I'm going to grab a mini one. Our black dimensionals come in both sizes in the pack. One of the mini ones can go right there in the middle. Okay. And now this is going to go on here, but I want to try to make it so it really doesn't matter, but either 2 or 1 of these is going to be on the paper. I kind of want the ones that don't have dimensional too much is where the ribbon is. Okay. So the 2 that have dimensionals are more on the paper here, and this is on the paper because this kind of raises it up a little bit. So I'm going to take your pick tool again. This is how I take my paper backings off. I put the paper piercer in at an angle and scoop up the paper. There we go. And this, if I can get hold of it, once again, I'll make sure there's really nothing there in the middle with the dimensionals. I'm going to put this right in the middle. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and push it down. Make sure those dimensionals are attached really good. Then I'm going to bring in this sentiment. I'm going to put a dimensional on each end. I'm not going to do the middle because it's going to be going across the snowflake that's already raised up. And I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive here in the middle. You really don't have to, but that'll keep it on there even better. And scoop up the paper backings like so. Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm glad you're liking it. Thanks, Robin. And I'm going to put this. I'm not seeing your whole comment. I'll look at it once I see it goes up a little bit. Okay, and this is just going to go right along the bottom. I want to put more on the bottom because I want to see most of my snowflake there at the top. Might as well finish the outside. Actually, I think I might move this over a little bit if I can. Okay, now I'll push it down. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of bling. I've been using some of these are cut off because I used them in my product share a couple months ago, but it does come with clear. This thing would be all full. I don't know if I have a full one over here with me or not. Oh, I do. That's what a full pack looks like. But it's clear, pretty peacock and cherry cobbler, and they're small and large and small in each color. I'm going to be using the cherry cobbler. I'm going to grab one of the large ones. Oops, I need to get more putty out of this, but I think I can still make it work. I'm going to put that right there in the center. That just gives a nice, and you get a little bit of putty out of here. So what you do, you just tighten this up and the putty will start coming out to get some new. But there we go. I just thought that little snowflake looked great on the outside. So that is the outside. We still have to do the inside. There's a lot to do here. So when you close this too, make sure, because I did not do that. There we go. I want to make sure those the accordion folds are doing right. Once we put the snowflakes on, it'll be perfect. Okay. This middle one is causing little problems. Look at that. They're a little better. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab, you know what? Might as well do this. This piece here. And go ahead and put some regular adhesive on here. Make sure your front is on the left. And this is just going to go, this is actually the same width as the DSP here, 2 inches. So just get it right up against the fold. And then kind of have it centered up and down. Doesn't have to be perfect. But there we go. That's the easy thing to put. They're not hard to put on. That's definitely the easiest. Put these to the side because we're going to need those here in a minute. And I need to make the rest of these snowflakes. So I'm going to bring all 3 of these in. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to die cut the others. I'm like, why aren't they all here? I do need my die cutting machine again. Let me get that out. I don't feel tired, but I think my brain is. Okay, let's bring this back in. It was die cutting, so I need to get those out of the way and get it back ready. Embossing. Now we're getting back to die cutting. I got this all set up again. Bring this piece in because I wanted to show you how all of these line up. So we've got this one. This is one does this one. So this is just like a regular die, like the big one I just did. Make sure that image is filling in the opening of the die. Then I'm going to put some tape on here. I have to get some more tape. I don't think I got enough out. Now, this is what I want to tell you about how cool this is. You know how some of our flowers have all the petals are a little different, and sometimes you have to move your die around to get to line up. All of these, like on this one and on this one, they're all exactly the same, so you don't have to be worrying about if you got it in the right one. Make sure your berries are in the middle, and then you just line up the petals. So that's what I'm doing, making sure they fill in the openings. So those are all exactly the same. So that makes it a little easier when you go to do this. I need to grab my tape again because I'm out on my machine. Get a couple more. Actually, might need 3 more pieces. This is what the Post-it tape looks like, in case you were wondering. I got mine on Amazon. Now I'm going to put this on here to die cut it out. And then this little guy, and get it. And there's 1 piece of tape should be fine with this one. Get the other standard cutting plate on top. And get these die cut. Oh, hi, Terry. Glad you could make it. Oh, thanks, Marlene. I'm glad you're liking it. Thanks, Glenda. Or you're saying hi, Holly. I'm glad you're here, Glenda. Yes, Crystal. Crystal's asking me. She goes, there's a PDF for this card. It won't be directions, but it'll be all the paper sizes and where you put your score lines. So it's something you can have printed out and come to the video and watch how to make it. But yes, there will be a PDF with all of the sizes for you. And that will be posted on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time on my website. It's createwithchristy.com. And I will put a direct link to the post. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be down in the video description. On my Facebook page, I will put a post up on sometime on Thursday giving you the link. There's a little snowflake. And this one. I'm glad you asked that, Crystal. That way I could let the people who came on later know. Okay, so there is that one. Now get this out of the way. Now I'm done die cutting for sure. I can't believe I forgot to die cut those. This is crazy. I'm only making 1 card, and I feel like I've got a bigger mess than I do when I make 3. Okay, now put these snowflakes together. So now I can get all 3 of these out because they're all die cut finally. And you can do the same thing when I showed you the dies. There was a smaller one right here. That one will do the centers out of this one if you wanted to do that, but I'm not going to be doing that on this one. And I show how to do that on my the video I did last week. And I will put a post to that down in my video description for those of you on YouTube. Facebook, if you go to the post that I have about my club, you'll find the link there in the comments on that post. Okay, so these are all out here. I want to grab all of the shaded spruce ones. Okay, there's my little snowflake. I don't want my little snowflake yet. And I'm going to use glue again. Just put a little bit more in the center. That's right. I want to do more in the center. So I'm going on the so-called petals, whatever word you want to call it, but not all the way to the end. And you'll understand why here in a minute. This one will just go here in the center. I want these petals to go in these white spaces. Like so. So it's kind of like lining up that die when you die cut those pieces out. Hold that down, put pressure on there. There we go. And then actually what I can do, I can flip these up a little bit, just get a little more dimension to them. Okay. If you want to, you can even put little dimensionals under the mini dimensionals under them, but I just went ahead and just folded them up a little bit because I didn't want to have them too bulky because this is the inside of the card. Now this one is the branch one. So 2 of the snowflakes are going to be exactly, what am I doing? I only want in the center. That's okay. So do it like I did on the other one, put in the center and a little bit on the bottom of each of the pine branches. But that's only so you can fold it up. If you don't care about folding it up, then you can put it on the whole thing. So I'm putting pressure there in the center, and then I can flip these up. That is if they don't glue down first. There we go. This one I'm going to put to the side. I should have done this one next because this is exactly like the other one. So this one's just going to go here, just like the first one I did. Once it's lined up, and the nice thing with the glue, like I said, I'm kind of smooth, sliding it. There's the word, a little bit to get it centered because I wasn't very centered when I first put it down. And then you put pressure on it once you've got it where you want it, and then it stays stuck. Okay, so I've got these up. Now with this one, I'm going to put one more layer on here. This is the one with the pine branches. Put some glue on this one. And it's going to go right in the center of this one. So this one's got a little added layer. So it's old olive and shaded spruce. And then this little snowflake here is pretty peacock. And I want to put some bling on them. So I'm going to put these, bring these back in. Get my little snowflakes. And this time I'm going to use the small cherry cobbler ones. I use the large one on the big snowflake on the front. And I'm going to put this. So you get the greens that are in the paper. But then when you add that little bit of cherry cobbler, it just really makes them pop. I love having that splash of red. And cherry cobbler is my favorite red of the ones we have. So there we go. So we've got two that are exactly the same. Put those on each end. And one that's got a little more on it. We're having that little snowflake. And that's going to be the middle one. So I'm going to bring in my card base again. And I'm actually, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to start with the center one. That's just how I did the first one. So this is going to go on. Make sure I remember. Yeah, this is how I did it. This center section right here, this one is going to go on like this. So here is the center part. So there's the center. I want to make sure I am over here, but I don't want to go all the way to the center. So I'm going to grab my glue again. I'm going to grab my silicone sheet just in case I make a mess. So it's this, yeah, this way here. So I don't want to go past that. So these center sections here, I'm going to the right of those. Okay, so I'm not going all the way to the center. I don't know if you can see the glue or not. There we go, maybe a little bit that way. So the glue side, here's my middle score line. I want it to be on this top part here. So I'm kind of close it, put this, make sure my glue is on the left side now. And I kind of eyeball it. That looks pretty centered up and down. Hopefully you can see that. I'll show it to you, Bill, better here in just a minute. It's a little hard to show it when you're putting it on. There we go. So it's right there in the center. And the reason I didn't want the glue to go past the center part is because you don't want any glue here on the back, because then that's going to glue the card together and you don't want that. Now I'm going to grab one of these. This time I've kind of got the longer edges on the side and it's flatter on top. This time you can do it exactly the same way, but I decided I'm going to do this one a little different. So the flat sides are, the flat edges are there on the side and the little pointed ones are on the top and bottom. So there are my center ones. I'm going to go over to the right, put glue on here, not doing this center section here. There's my glue side. And I'm going to go, looking at my original here. Yes. You can do the top first or the bottom, whatever you want to do. I did the bottom. So this first section right here, this is going to go on right up against the score line. And I'm making sure that the snowflake stays right here on the edge of the DSP. There we go. Oh, I'm going to get crystal down. I forgot to hide that. I looked up and saw that comment. There we go. So now we've got this one ready. Last but not least is this one. I'm going to do it the exact same way. I want a flat edge on each side. Go to the right side of the center with the glue. And then this one is going to go on the top, like so. And once again, I'm going right up against the fold. and lining up the top to the very top of the DSP. Hold that down. And there we go. Now, this is probably something you would want to make for someone very special. You wouldn't be able to mass produce these probably, but there we go. I'm going to push it all down again to make sure those accordion folds are folding right. And there we go. Because when you start putting the snowflakes in, the accordion folds kind of collapse a little bit. And once you get it all together, you just close it up and push it down. So that way those score lines are folded right again. So there's the inside. And you open it up with your snowflakes and then a little greeting. So that's just a fun little fold. The fold itself doesn't take long at all, but then you can have a lot of fun decorating it, which is what I did with my snowflake. I thought, oh, I got to make a bunch of little snowflakes. And I could have made each snowflake different. If you want to do that, you can. I thought that this was involved enough repeating these two and then having the center one be a little bit different. So there you go. Hope you guys like that one. Thanks, Romaine. Can't wait to give it a try. Good. Like I said, I will definitely have the project sheet that'll have all of the paper sizes and the score lines you need to do with your paper so you can make this again. So you can print that project sheet off, get all your supplies together, and then come back and watch this video. And I will put a link to the blog post in that project sheet, which will also have, and then we go to the blog post, we'll have the video so you'll never lose the video. So there you go if you keep the project sheet. So there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks, Polly. Thanks, Frog Quilter. Beautiful card. Thank you. Thanks, Romaine. Yes, this is definitely a wow card. Most of my lives, I do ones that are a little easier, but it's Christmas. If you want to give a special card to somebody, I thought that would be a good occasion to do it. And this, like, it's celebrate the season. It can just be a winter card. Say somebody's got a birthday in the winter, you can definitely make this into a special birthday card. A lot of different things you can do with this. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Sherry Stewart. Gorgeous card. Thank you. Thanks, Robin. Unbelievably gorgeous. Thank you, Robin. Thanks, Polly. I can't remember if I said thanks to you. I saw yours a minute ago. I couldn't remember if I said your name. Good. There are a bunch of people liking it. Thank you. It's all of a sudden going away and I can't see everybody's names anymore. Christy and Holly. Thank you, guys. Glad you guys like that one. So every once in a while I'll do a fun fold, and I want to do that this week. Now, I think everybody's liking this bundle. If you want more cards with this bundle, my club is going on right now. You've got till this Saturday, November 15th to subscribe. I have got a video, which I forgot to put that in the video description. I will do that. That's the one I've been talking about here off and on about how I figured out how to die cut these pine things here. On that video, I explain my card club. I also show everything everybody's getting this month. And there's also a link to my monthly online card club in the video description. There's also one under the Learn More button I told you about on Facebook, my Facebook page. Go to the monthly online card club. You can find out all the information, everything that you get this month. It's $46, and it's every month done through PayPal, but you can get all that information there on that page. If you have any questions, just contact me, and I'll be happy to answer them. But I'll show you the cards that they're going to be making. I show them in the video, but I thought I'd show them to you now. This was the one I made in that public video, so you can learn how to make this in that card video. And this is when I did this, took the centers out like I did on this one. So that's with the Secret Sea and Smoky Slate. I thought those two colors looked really good together. And I did not use the DSP on this one normally because I give them a half pack of the, that's one of the things that get a half pack of the Elegant Pine Snowflakes DSP. But this one, I tried to find a place to put it. It looks better without it on this one. So this doesn't even use the ribbon that they get. Because they'll also get that shaded spruce ribbon. This is the second card. This is the one that will be taught in the exclusive video that my club members get. So there is that. They will also, this will be in the exclusive video for my club members, this one. So this one doesn't even use a snowflake. And then this is the one, the last one they'll be making. And this is actually using that beautiful DSP everybody's been loving, that I love too. A few of the sheets, you can actually use the dies to die cut some of the snowflakes out. So they'll have the paper and they'll be die cutting those out together. So it's that one, this one, and this one. That's an exclusive video. They'll get a PDF with all of the paper sizes. Only my club members get that, plus my team. Any of my exclusive videos, and like if I have a thank you gift that's a video, all my club videos, all my PDFs, exclusive PDFs for orders, and my club, my team gets. So that's another perk for joining my team too. But you'll also get them if you join my club. So you get all the information there. Clicking that monthly online card club link in the video description on YouTube and doing the Learn More button on Facebook. So, but you've got till the 15th, and then if you sign up after that, then you'll get, excuse me, you'll start with next month's. Oh, thanks, Holly. Glad you liked all those cards. Thanks, Romaine. And that also give you guys some more ideas too. Okay, now time to end. This is going to be the door prize. If you missed it at the beginning, I will go over that here real quick. If you live in the United States and you want to be part of my door prize drawing, and this is the one for tonight, is the card I just made, then do hashtag door prize. If you did it earlier in the video, you were in the drawing, you don't have to do it again. But if you came in late and hadn't done that yet, make sure you type it in just like you see there on the screen. So the program I used here on this site for my live will take your comment, because it has to be typed in just right for it to recognize it to put your comment into the drawing. So you have to live in the United States and then do hashtag door prize if you want to be in the drawing. And you will also, those of you watching live, will also get the opportunity to win this card, my original card that I made just like this in next week's live. So if you don't win tonight, you'll have another chance. And everybody watches the replay. If you live in the U.S. and want to be get my other card that looks just like this one, do your hashtag door prize. Okay, now there's always a delay. So I'm going to hurry up and go over my thank you gifts, and then we will do the door prize drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this popped up. If you played, now my thank you gifts last 2 weeks generally. Every once in a while I might change it up a little bit, but they last for 2 weeks. During that 2 weeks, you can place as many orders as you want. I add all of your orders together. The total is after Stampin' Rewards have been taken off and before shipping and tax gets added on. I add them up to determine what thank you gifts you get. And for these 2 weeks, and we're halfway through these thank you gifts, so you only have until Monday, this coming Monday, November 17th. This was my card class last week, the tree trimmings. No, let's see, pine tree trimmings. I always forget that name of the bundle. These were the 3 cards. And if you place a 60, if your orders total $60, then you'll get the card kits to make 2 each of those cards. I do the embossing for you and any die cutting that is done that's not part of the bundle. I do give you the cardstock, like these trees, that was done with the bundle. You'll still have the cardstock to do the stamping and die cutting yourself. But like this label here and this tag were from different die sets and the bow. I will die cut those for you, and the embossing I do for you. So the $60, that's after your Stampin' Rewards are taken off and before shipping and tax gets added on. You get the card kits to make 2 each of those cards. If you do at least $120 order with that same criteria, then you'll get, this is just a sampling, 8 of my cards from my stash. So here are, like, there's 4 of them here, and then there's another 4 here. They'll all look different, so I'm not going to show all of these to you, but they'll be in a little package here. You can use these to give away to somebody because they're empty, so you can put in whatever sentiment or note you want to put inside them, or you can keep them as card ideas for yourself, whatever you want to do. So the $60 order, you get the kits to make 2 each of the cards. $120 total order, you get this. And that's, like I said, after Stampin' Rewards are taken off and before shipping and tax gets added on. And you would get both. You would get this and this. Now, if you don't reach the $60 mark, don't worry. I'm going to send out a card to you as a thank you for your order. So you will at least get a little card if you're under $60. So that is it for my thank you gifts. And that should have given everybody enough time to get their hashtag door prizes in. So let me get all this out of the way. Bring in the card. This is for the drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this. And once again, I always put my Post-it notes away, and then they get covered up. Thankfully, I have another pack. And I'm going to bring in the door prize thing, get this ready. Okay, so I'm going to count to 3. Oh, thanks, Ann. I'm glad you liked the card. I just saw your comment. Okay, so I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to start. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Janet. Now, I know for a fact you have never won before. I haven't seen your name before, so congratulations. You are watching on YouTube. So what you're going to want to do, let me go ahead and hide this. You're going to want to look down in the video description there on the YouTube video and click on the contact me link and give me your mailing address, and I will get this mailed out to you as soon as I get your address. And don't worry, I don't solicit unless you ask me to, but the addresses, all I do is send you the door prize. So I hope, congratulations, Janet. I'm glad you won. Make sure you contact me. And if you well, I'm not sure where the video description is because sometimes it's hard to find that video description on YouTube. Let me go ahead and pop this up quick, and you can write this down too. There is my email address. The contact me sends it right to my email, but you can also do that, Christy Falk at createwithchristy.com. So I'll leave that up for a minute so you can write that down. Okay, that is it, guys. I'm so glad you guys all got to come. We had a good crowd tonight. And I'm so glad we're past the technical difficulties. I don't think I have to bring that up anymore. For my regulars, you know it, new people, I got a new computer and that took care of everything. I've had so many nightmares the last couple months. It's been nuts. Finally figured out what the problem was and everything's working good. Good. Okay, I see a bunch of congratulations. Good. So I will see you guys all again next week. It should be, my plan is another card class at home next week. And they always start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays. And I go live on YouTube and Facebook at the exact same time. So you can pick whichever one you want. If you want to be reminded of whenever I go live, I always send an email out. You've got my blog. You can follow my blog. I put it on there. And I also put a post on my Facebook page. You can, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and the little bell icon that pops up and select all, then YouTube will notify you every time I'm getting ready to go live also. And you get it if you sign up for my newsletter, and there's a link to that by clicking the social media link down in the video description and under the Learn More button there on Facebook. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you guys next week. Take care of yourself, stay warm, and I will see you next week. Bye.